and leave with an additional perspective. I'm Shay. Alongside me this evening, we have Heidi and Dawn Michelle. We thank you again for tuning in. Each week we ask you to log on to your Facebook pages and have your friends and family like us on our Facebook page, which is A Queen's Eye View, and also join us tonight on myjbn.com/queens, all lowercase. That's myjbn.com/queens, all lowercase. Also, this evening we have a very special show for you tonight. But before we get into the show, we always check in with our queens. So tonight we're going to start with our special in-house guests first. So I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Angela Hutchins, and I'm really from New York, but I've been in Georgia for about 30 years.
And 30, she's a peach now. Right, you're a peach now. You're an apple mixed peach. Apple mixed peach. And my name is Quentin Dodds, and I am originally from Toledo, Ohio, and I've been in Atlanta for 8 years now.
All right. Queen Heidi, how are you this evening?
Shay.
Hey.
What's happening, Mama?
No, everything and nothing at the same time.
It's all good. I'm feeling good. My conference is over. Thank you, Jesus. 350 people. Antoine Fisher was awesome. If anybody ever hears his story live, it is way deeper than the movie and the book. But it was a really awesome experience, and I appreciate all the support from the folks that I got, especially from radio listeners that I got hit me up on my page, and it's really, I appreciate y'all. So much love. Dawn Michelle, how was your week?
Give her the mic so she can tell you. Wait, hang on a second. We've got our caller calling, if you don't mind. Hang on 1 second. And we'll let her go first. Hey there.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am well. How are you folks?
Doing well. So it's your turn to introduce yourself. We're just checking in with our queen, so we'll let you go. Can you turn down your...
Yeah, I just did. Sorry
Okay.
about that, folks. Marsha Bonner, I'm here in New York. Happy to be a part of the conversation.
Welcome.
Is there more I should say, or is that good?
That's good for now.
All right. Vote for me.
Well, welcome you. Thank you. All right, Dawn, you can go.
Okay. My week was same as normal.
Partly cloudy?
Nothing busy. No, I'll say 70 and partly sunny.
70 and partly sunny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Considering
good.
it's been
Cold.
like 30 degrees. Yes. I can't take it.
Right. You look very pretty.
Thank
I like
you.
that silver, those eyes. I know. Sparkling eyes. Something else going on that we need to know about?
No. No.
Yeah, right. Come on. Come on.
No.
Pour that tea.
No.
Read that palm.
Unless y'all know something I don't know.
We're going to keep our eyes on you. But my week has been good. It's, again, ups and downs, but trusting God for everything and worrying about nothing. So I'm good. But I am excited about this evening's show. And this evening we're going to talk about same-sex relationships. We're going to talk about the challenges of it. We're going to talk about the misnomers of same-sex relationships, lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender community. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I've had some friends that have agreed to come out and talk. I'm not putting anybody's business out there. I'm not pouring anybody's tea, opening the closets, closing the closets, or however we want to say that. Really? So everybody, the only rule this evening is to respect everyone. You can have your opinions. You can say what you feel, what you think, but we're asking the callers, the listeners, respect everyone and their opinions, because that's what it is, their opinions. So we all in agreement?
Take it away, Queen Shay.
Okay. That's all that we ask, is that you respect everyone's opinion. Okay? All right, so we're going to get started this evening. And again, you guys can tell as much as you want, how you want. We're going to ask questions. But I want to do things a little bit different this evening. Since we have our panel, which is Marsha Bonner, which is on the phone in New York, and we have Ray Quentin and Angela, we're going to have someone else there that's going to come in a little bit. What do you need? Right. You guys jump on in with the mic. We're broadcasting live this evening from Salon NV ATL. Woo! having us. We're at 865 Indian Trail Road here in Lilburn, Georgia. Our once a month visit. Woo! Come on down, get your hair. Look, I'm growing my hair. You see that, right? So I'm going to be able to get my hair done soon. Right, right. So we thank you again for having us. Where's Kim tonight? Oh. Oh, happy birthday, Kim. We'll have to do something special next month when we come.
Well, I noticed when I walked in the door, her new hair. You know how she switched it up. You know, so I'm following her lead. You know what I mean?
Oh.
She look all glamorous and stuff.
She always looks good.
Amen.
Yeah, she got a pretty one in the chair, too. Got her hair all done up. Trying to play sleep. Talking about, don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. Oh, we got a stylist in the house, too.
Yeah.
24 years. You started when you were 2?
I like her. I like her. I started a long time ago. I'm 40.
Oh, you got a mic.
Oh, I got a mic. I'll be 42 in January. And I started when I was a wee bit.
You said 24 years?
Yeah.
I wasn't even born yet.
It'll be 25 in January.
I wasn't born yet.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Oh, I gave you a compliment. I took it back.
Thanks a lot. No, backhanded compliment. You hear that backhanded compliment?
You gotta watch that one right there. I'm just trying to tell you. Right.
Why you put my business out there? Anywho, let's get on with our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so I hear you laughing, Marsha. What's so funny? Look.
Hilarious.
Let me put these glasses on.
Let's get it going. What's the first question?
I gotta put my glasses on. I gotta keep my eyes on everybody here. I don't know.
Here we go.
Okay, so our first question here is, I want to ask Dawn Michelle, since we have the panelists or the experts, I'll say, Dawn Michelle, do you think being lesbian or gay is a choice? In your opinion?
For some people, I think it's a choice. And for other people, I think that's just what they naturally feel like is, like, I've heard a lot of people say that they felt like they were born into the, like, they felt like that when they were a child. Like, they knew immediately. Just like transgender, people who, I saw a show on HBO about transgenders, and they were talking about how, he said he knew when he was a little boy that he was supposed to be a girl. Like, he just always felt like a girl. So he changed over and got the operation and got everything, and now he's a girl because he said he always felt that way. So I think with homosexuals, I think that some of them really do feel like that from an early age. And then some of them, I think, are exploring other options. And the only reason I say that is because I have a friend who dated some girls for a while. But that's only because she was curious. She wanted to see what it was like. It wasn't that she wasn't attracted to men. She just wanted to change up and explore some other things for a while. So she dated some women for a while, and then she went back to men. So that's why I say for some people, I think it is just a natural, it is what it is. And then for other people, I think they're trying to explore and they're a little curious about, So, yeah.
Heidi, what do you think?
Well, I'm pretty much on board with Dawn. I will say this. I noticed with I'm gonna date myself, but it is what it is. So I'm 41. So I noticed with some of the old school in my generation in terms of let's try that again. Gay and lesbian community, that a lot of them say they knew it from a young age. But since I mentor young people and I work with a lot of young kids and teenagers, yeah, a lot of it's hot. It's a fad. Yeah, it's like in. They want to try it. My girl got a girlfriend, whatever. I mean, I don't even know if they really know what they're doing. I just think it's hot. I think it's in. And I think everybody want to try a little something different. And I'm just talking about primarily for a lot of younger ones that I've been talking to and mentoring. They say that's the hot thing in. And so, they trying to do their thing. But, this is an opinion. But I do think that I have some really good, old school lesbian friends. Like, they've been together forever, like longer than some of these marriages I know. You know what I mean? And right. They've been that way for as long as we could remember. Right. So it's not a fad to them. It's who they are.
Marsha, what's your take on it?
Well, I can only, of course, only speak from my own experience. Early on in my life, I did date men. However, I'm talking very early on. I was always attracted to women. And it wasn't really that I was finding the language here very, very interesting. I think that's part of what we struggle with in the LGBTQ community is how we communicate and how others communicate about our lifestyle. So, the whole idea around it's a fad, and, when the young lady just said, what are they curious about? My question was, what are they curious about? And that only leads to the issue that I think so many people have, that they think that this is just a sex thing.
Right.
And that I gotta be honest, that just annoys me to no end.
Right.
In my partners, that I've had, I have a 401k, I have a job, I have a life that I live. So it's not just about being in the bed with someone. As a matter of fact, I took out of my language my lover. I took that out of my language very, very early on, only because it invited people into my bedroom when I said that about my partner. I was very, very uncomfortable with that. So, isn't lesbian a gay or a choice or something that is inherent in our being? It was inherent in my being, and I've since made the conscious decision to be with women.
Right.
Bottom line.
Right. Agreed. Angela?
Well,
You think it's a choice? For you, is it a choice? Is it an option? Are you lesbian? Are you?
well, for me, I dated men. I am a lesbian. For me, I dated men, and I knew I was attracted to women, and I just was kind of fighting it, and when it was time for being with a guy, I was with the guy because I just thought that was it.
Right.
But inside of me, I was attracted to women.
Was it because you thought it was socially acceptable, or because of family pressures, or because of what society said, or?
No, it was my choice.
Mhm.
It was my choice
Right.
to decide. It wasn't nobody else's choice. Of course, my mom, would say, it was just a phase.
Right.
But my mom would say it was just a phase, but I guess the parents, I guess that's what they think of the kids, is it's just a phase, But I was already grown.
Right.
I had already had my son,
Mm-hmm.
and I was dating his father, and I was like, this is not it.
Right.
I was in love. I was attracted to women, and I decided that that's what I want to do. And yes, it was my choice to decide that this is what I wanted to do.
Right. Ray Quentin?
Let me just tell you a quick little story.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
The first day of kindergarten, I came home. I told my mom I had a girlfriend. The second day of kindergarten, I came home. I wanted to tell her I had a boyfriend, but I knew better.
Right. Right.
I knew better.
Already knew better.
Already knew better. Okay. With that being, in kindergarten, and I remember his name to this day. I won't say it though.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me on break.
Right. You're right. I think that it's not a choice. I think it is a choice for you to act on your feelings.
Okay.
That's the choice.
Right.
You're not choosing how you're feeling. You're not choosing what your heart is saying. You're choosing to make a decision whether I'm going to go that way or that way, whether I'm going to follow my heart or do what society wants me to do.
Right.
That's the choice.
Right.
You're choosing to follow your peers, as you said, the kids, the children, the young kids. They're choosing to follow the fad.
Right.
If you want to call it a fad, they're choosing to see what's going on instead of choosing what they've been taught. And that's not to follow behind everyone else. They're choosing to follow the fad.
Right.
That's the choice.
Right. Right.
Yes, I don't think it's a choice. I think it's a choice for you to act upon it.
And I'll have to speak to Marsha's point. I was in a Bible study one day, and we had the talk, if you will, and we wanted to talk about lesbian and
Ooh, the talk.
the talk, right. And the conversation came up about lesbians, gays, homosexuals. And they asked, does anyone know anyone who's gay or lesbian? Everybody raised their hand, and says, well, how do you feel about it? Oh. Everybody's getting all stiff. Oh. I kind of leaned back in the chair and I kind of slid down. So I raised my hand. I said, Pastor, may I say something? She put her head down. Yes, Shawana. I'm kind of the outspoken one, at church, kind of the controversial one. They actually said at work today that I am the natural challenger. I took a test or something at work, and they said I'm a natural challenger. You believe that, Marsha?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I didn't believe it, but they said I'm a natural challenger. So anyway, the question was about lesbians and gays. What's your problem with it? And people say, oh, that's unacceptable. The Bible says this. The Bible says that. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not going to get into the religion part because I don't know enough to talk about it. I just believe my opinion is only God can judge, and at that day, it's going to be He and I. And I'm the only one that's going to have to answer for my sins, what I've done and what I haven't done. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I said, well, Pastor, I believe a sin is a sin. So if I'm a liar, if I'm a thief, if I'm an adulterer, those are all sins. So your sin is no better than my sin. So that's my take on it. And to your point, Marsha, I think where people get caught up is in the bedroom. Because if you and I are walking down the street, they can't tell the difference. You wouldn't know anything about us. We're just walking down the street. But it's when we get in the house and we close the door and we go to our bedroom, why is your mind in our bedroom? And I said, some of you in here, I would be horrified at what you did behind your closed doors. And they turned around, looked at me. They said, Pastor said, okay, I think it's time to go into the Word. So they just cut me off on that. But because seriously, if your mind wasn't in the bedroom, you wouldn't have any problem. We pay bills together. Like you said, you have a 401k. You have someone set up as your beneficiary. It doesn't matter. So if you see us walking down the street, what difference does it make? So I'm neither against it or for it. I'm just saying, what's the difference? The choice is yours. I may not like your husband that you chose. I may not like the wife that you chose. I may not like the shoes that you chose. But those are choices and decisions which are yours.
Yeah, but and I agree with you, Shay, because I did a lot of theater in Columbia before I moved to Atlanta. And most of my friends that I did theater with were gay, but they were couples. I know, right?
Look. Theater?
But they were couples. Like you said, it wasn't just about sex. I don't know why everybody thinks that homosexual couples, it's all just about sex. Now, the ones I do think that the ones that are curious per se, that's all they care about. They want to see what the sex is like with a woman or whatever. If you're a girl, you want to see what it's like with another girl or whatever.
But you know what they say? Curiosity kills the cat. Satisfaction brings them back. That's why they get stuck.
Exactly. But they're couples, like you said. They have bank accounts together. They put each other on their medical plans. Now, I mean, even at my company, like I saw where they have everything set up for if you are a same-sex couple and how you can include that person in on your plan and blah 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 blah. I mean, it's just like being married, a man and a woman.
So let me ask you, Marsha. So, in your opinion, why do you think people have a problem with same-sex relationships other than what you do in your bedroom?
Because people like making choices for other people. It's just the nature of the beast, and the conversation that we as LGBTQ individuals need to reflect in ourselves and how we present ourselves. The conversation, I've been in corporate America for quite a while, and other companies.coms and so forth and so on, and people will come in, say, after their vacation or after their weekend or whatever. And they'll say something like, me and my wife had a wonderful time. Now, it's easy for me to say, yeah, I had a nice weekend too. But if I'm with someone, I'm going to say, yes, me and my partner had a wonderful time too. She's an incredible woman. And I don't give them permission to question, anything about my life. It's out there. If you want to be included and continue this conversation, you're welcome to. If you choose not to, that's your choice too. But I don't give them the space to judge me. See, that's one of the things that I am very, very comfortable with. Because when you give a person that space and they want to question who you are as an individual, that is taking it to a place that I don't think they really would like to engage with a person like me on.
Wow.
Period.
Marsha, this is Heidi. I wanted to bring something up that I thought was really interesting since you're bringing up that point. So I was having a very good conversation with a good friend of mine. She's actually Caucasian. She has a partner. They're here in Georgia. She and I talked about terminology, and we talked about how terminology has strength. She does not care for the word partner because it immediately makes her look like she's different. She feels like she should be able to say, my spouse, my wife right now. We all know ain't nobody approved gay marriage in Georgia. Let's just put it on out there. We gonna keep it because it's not approved. It's not legal in the state of Georgia. But her issue is the terminology that is used around the community separates them automatically. So she said to me, she said, Heidi, she said, there's no way that I can ever. She's like, she's fully open with her partner, but she's like, I can't ever merge into or network with a group of people or whatnot because immediately they start putting these terms on me and it immediately makes me seem like I'm different. And so I just wanted to get your take on that, which is why she doesn't even use the word partner. What was your thoughts?
What word does she use, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, she uses girlfriend because she can't legally marry her girlfriend here in Georgia.
Okay.
And they have kids. She was married to a man, so she has kids from a previous marriage. So she and her girlfriend Rachel, they have and they're raising their kids in a nice little area in Decatur. I love this couple. I swear, they're so cool. And they've been together forever at this point, like 10 years now. But she was very blunt with me. She was just like, she's like, it doesn't matter if you see me down the street. She said it's the terminology that separates us from heterosexual couples. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Well, as I use the word, first of all, I'm not going to call someone my wife unless I'm married to them. And I have yet to be married. So that's the first thing. I'm not going to do that. I use the term partner because it's a term that I'm comfortable with. I'm also comfortable with lesbian, homosexual, fiance, girlfriend, or whatever. So I guess what I'm really saying is that no one can make me feel any kind of way based on the terminology that they choose to use to identify me, because I am a lot of different terms. And, early on, and I'm sure many of you have heard this, it's not what people call you, it's what you answer to.
That's right.
I choose to answer to Marsha Renee Bonner. That is my name. If people want to say that I'm a lesbian, I am comfortable with that. If they want to call me a homosexual, I am comfortable with that. Because I know who I am and whose I am.
That's right.
And the terminology doesn't define me. I'm also black. There are issues around that. I'm a woman. There are issues around that. I'm a recovering addict with 25 years clean from drug and alcohol addiction. There are issues around that. So pick a term. Any term. Go for it.
Right, pick one. Anything.
Shay, I have a question for our guests. I want to know if you guys can tell us a story or a time where you have been blatantly discriminated against and you knew it, and I want to know how it made you feel.
I've never been. Because I've really never been. I've never been discriminated because I'm too pretty to be gay, so nobody would know if I'm gay or not. So.
What does that mean?
I mean,
all lesbians are ugly. I mean, what?
No,
what?
It's just that people when people approach me and then I tell them that I'm a lesbian, they say, "What?"
It's supposed to be hard.
Right.
They think she's supposed to be hard, and they are like there's femme queens, they are studs, and they're feminine.
And I
women,
have seen,
so.
yeah.
Oh well, you take the stud, I'll take the queen. Queens, studs, and queens. I take the
I mean, there's the feminine kind, and that's me, the girly. And there's
traditionally known as lipstick lesbians.
Yeah, lesbians. And there's studs, and they're called the aggressor, and they're portrayed as the guy. But there's all kinds. But that's usually the main thing about lesbians. And
it's so funny because the terms continue to change, just like we as black people, African American, we're black, this, that, and that. So it continues to change.
And it's getting to the point where now people don't even want to be named at all.
Now there's femme queens, there's butch queens,
they don't want to be named at all.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at. I'm falling in the middle somewhere.
Whatever.
I was recently in a play, and they were like, "You got to be a butch, butch queen."
Yeah, they want you.
Yeah, be a butch queen. I'm like, well, is that the same as a butch queen, and I'm a femme queen, according to what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
And a butch, it's just it's terms. Don't let nobody define you, like the lady on what's her name? Marsha. Hi, Marsha. My mom's name is Marsha. Like Marsha would say, you don't let anybody define you by a terminology. So I appreciate that. I agree with that.
So have you ever experienced any blatant discrimination that upset you, made you feel a certain type of way?
I have thick skin.
Okay.
And
you're in the softy like me.
Right. And I have thick skin, and I thank you, Mother, for that. So I really, if it happened, it's like
you just shook it off.
Water off a duck's back,
okay,
baby. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Really go there for me, even, because I really.
It takes a lot for you
to.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Okay.
Shay.
I had a question that somebody had sent me and asked me to ask the panel. They said that, okay, I don't have a problem with lesbians and gays, but what I have a problem is, why do you? How do they word it? Why do if you're a gay man, why do you change your voice or change your appearance? Why do you have to appear feminine or extra feminine or ultra feminine? Or why would a woman who's a woman have to appear to be more manly? The aggressor or I think they use the word dyke, so that tells you their age. I mean, because that like you say, it's ever changing, right? But I'm just saying, when way back. That was a term, but that was the term that they used. Why would they have to have the pants dragging or the oversized shirts or look? I used to wear my hair. Well, I do. My hair was very low, so then that was seen as a stereotype for being gay. But whether your hair is short or long, that doesn't, like Marsha said, that doesn't define you. But back to the question he said was, why would a man have to be extra feminine or his voice change or his appearance change or sachet?
They don't.
Yeah.
Just like the rainbow. There are so many different colors, but guess what? It is still the rainbow.
Right.
Gay is still gay. I don't care if they walk, if they butch, if they drag, if they grab, it's still gay. There are a variety of people that fall up under that umbrella. There are femme queens, masculine, feminine women, hard women. They're just like black folks. There are light-skinned women, light-skinned black folks, dark-skinned black folks. You just can't.
And I think it comes from them. I think them growing up, they were talking like that when they was young. The aggressors. I think it's just I think just with the feminine guys, they've always had that squeaky voice. Or they've always had that.
No.
But some people do.
Some do. But you could be in a setting where a guy's talking like, "How you doing? How are you?" And later on you hear him, "Hi, how are you?" I'm just saying, just to that point. I'm just saying they can turn it on and off. And again, I guess that's choices and decisions. They choose to do that.
Sometimes they conform to who they're around. Like if I'm around my good friends, my good Judys, then we can say yeah.
Okay.
I said Judys, boo. We can.
Oh wait, I don't know. Wait a minute, I don't know that one.
You can shoot the fat and keep it real with your friends. When you're out on a job interview, you're gonna try to give them what they're looking for and what they're asking for. You know what I mean?
So just depending on your environment.
on your environment.
I got
But
you.
we all do that. I
Everybody
mean,
does that.
Right,
Like,
let's
you're
say,
more
yeah.
comfortable
Everybody does
now.
that.
I'm not saying I feel like I'm me all the time, but when, like you said, you can be more relaxed around your friends. Now, what? Now, I don't know the term Judy. Is Judy's?
Marsha wants to say something, so hold on one second.
Yeah, I don't know that term, so somebody gonna have to school me on that one.
We'll get that. Marsha, you wanted to say something?
Sure, I will, but I wanted to finish hearing. Well, okay. So I haven't changed my voice. My voice has been the same. I guess that was directed more to the men, and in our community. But I did want to say something about the clothes. I've made a conscious decision that most of the clothes, I'm using the term most with parentheses or quotations around it, most of my clothes are men's clothes. And to, I believe his name is Ray Quinton.
Yes.
Many of my suits that I wear are women's suits. All of my shoes are men's shoes. So it is almost like I've made a conscious decision. Not almost. I've made a conscious decision to dress the way that I'm comfortable dressing. It really has nothing to do with because I'm a gay woman, I'm only going to wear this, I'm only going to wear that. I think people wear what they're comfortable wearing.
Right.
I live in New York here in Harlem, and on any given day, I can walk down the street and see a multitude of different styles and flavors and looks and feels. And it's because people are feeling themselves. They're not really concerned about what people think about what it is they're wearing, and that just goes back to the language and goes back to the whole thing. But for me, it's what I'm comfortable in. I've got to go to a business meeting tomorrow. I've got 4 suits lined up, right?
Right.
Because I'm ADD that.
Did you try them on already?
I've got four sweaters ironed, and they're all men's sweaters. And I have 4 pair of shoes, maybe 5 out because I switch those a lot. They're all men's shoes.
Marsha.
My look will be what it is, but it will look good on me. And I'm good with that. I look in the mirror and I'm good with Marsha. And once I walk out of the door, because of how I present myself and because I'm not really hiding anything, people are good with me. You understand? So this whole idea around our voice and our clothes and all of that stuff, you hear what you want to hear. You see what it is you want to see. The question is, have you asked me any questions that would give you insights to who I am? Period.
Right.
And if you haven't had that discussion, then you will continue to walk in misperception. And that's sad.
Marsha, have you always dressed, have you always worn men's clothing?
No, I have not.
Okay, right.
Before I decided to be comfortable with Marsha, I had the Toni Braxton haircut. I was wearing makeup. I had the lipstick, the Via Spigna shoes, and the leather skirts and the silk tops. And
what year was that?
And I tell people now, to be perfectly honest with you, for me, right? Here's another term that y'all can run with. For me, I was dressing in drag.
And I
right?
definitely understand
because
that.
it wasn't who I was. So I switched up and got comfortable.
You got comfortable.
And
back in the day,
I got comfortable.
Back in the day, in my teen years, I'll say, I dressed very feminine. Oh yeah, girl, I put some Daisy Dukes on for your nerve.
You got pictures?
No, I
Just kidding.
I birthed the pictures. But yeah, but that was at a time where I was really trying to find my comfort zone. Like she said, she's comfortable now. I was trying to find now I'm comfortable. I don't have to wear women's clothing, you know.
Right.
But I'm comfortable, and I
You're comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, but you know, there are things like my makeup. I wear makeup, baby, and I wear it well, and I know this. But you know, I
was gonna say, well, it does look good. Can you show me how to do that?
But that's what makes me comfortable. You shut up, girl. But you know, you find your comfort zone, and that's what Marsha did. She found her comfort zone.
Right.
She was uncomfortable in wearing the skirts and the high heels and things like that. I was, you know.
Right.
No.
But let me be clear on one thing, though. Marsha, you say you wear men's clothes, but Marsha's sharp. I didn't realize all those clothes were what they were, but Marsha's sharp. I wouldn't pick that out. So don't y'all get the idea that she's going around looking like Ron Isley or something like that, because it doesn't look like that at all. You know, she's very sharp. But yeah, but you said you wore some of those? Yo, you knew some of what?
I know some of those kind of women.
Oh, okay.
Who look like Ron Isley.
Right. Oh, really?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's the truth. I do it.
Well, we got to take a break. And, Marsha, we asked you to hold on for a second, and we're going to take a break. But we're coming back, and we're talking about same-sex relationships and, you know, the misnomers. And we're going to get to the bottom of some things that we think that aren't actually correct. And, you know, we just want you guys to know that there are some myths out there. So stay with us, and we'll be back with the Queen's Eye View. Hang on, Marsha.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Karat Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24 karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my Tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly, and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink. A passion for what you do plus investing in your skills equals the promised success that is Salon Envy. The vision for Salon Envy is to provide a professional working environment for the staff filled with positive energy, genuine respect for one another, and continuing education to stay on top of this ever-changing industry. Our goal for our clients is to create an experience that keeps you coming back for more. We are an exclusive beauty boutique with a team of hairstylists working alongside brow and makeup care specialists. We provide refreshments daily and a soothing ambiance with plenty of fun and laughter. We exude comfort, class, and style. So stop in and visit them at 865 Indian Trail in Lilburn, Georgia. Book your appointments at 770-686-3417 or check them out online at salonenvyatl.com. And remember, at Salon Envy, don't just envy, indulge.
Stokes and Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes and Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes and Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and/or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes and Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to info@stokesandmatthewsmedia.com or visit www.stokesandmatthewsmedia.com. Stokes and Matthews Media, where your project is our passion.
Honey, what are we going to do with all these bills? It doesn't make any sense. We make more than enough money to cover everything, but we're still in a hole.
Let's check out Madam Money.
Madam Money? Who is that?
She is a financial expert who helps people like us set and reach our financial goals.
This is great. With her help, we can do all the things that we talked about.
That's right. Now we can take that vacation we've always wanted and not feel stressed.
Hi, this is Tara Jackson, also known as Madam Money, and I can help you clear up all of your financial diseases and those pesky financial STDs.
See, this is why I love you.
Yes, I know.
So check out Madam Money online at tarajackson.com. TARRA Jackson.com.
Good evening and welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay. Alongside me this evening we have Heidi, Dawn Michelle, Ray Quentin, and Angela. And on the phone we have
Ray Quentin and Angela. And on the phone we have
and Marsha Bonner in her radio.
I'm right there.
But I know you turned up so you could hear us, but we hear you too. Oh, well, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning back in. Hey, I'm going to give you another website because it seems to, so I heard that there's some problems logging onto it. And if they are having a problem, get your friends to go to skycitymg.com/talk. That's skycitymg.com/talk if they can't log on through the myjbn.com/queens. But we thank you guys for staying tuned in. And we're talking this evening about same-sex relationships, the misnomers, the challenges, and the untruths, the good, the bad, and the not so ugly, because it's not what we think it is. Okay, so again, thank you, Marsha, for joining us this evening, Ray Quentin and Angela. And ladies, do you have a question you want to ask before I ask my next one?
No, you good, Shay. I'm good.
I don't want to disturb y'all over there with them phones over there. I mean, would you want us to wait a minute? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I just was going to wait a second if y'all needed a minute. You know what I mean?
We good.
Marsha, I have a question. When you said you had,
I know, right? Yeah, she
okay,
is.
wait a minute. It's not a king's eye view.
Last time I checked, I can text and listen at the same time.
I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just teasing y'all. But we got the producer over there, the king's eye view. Come on now. Marsha, you said LGBTQT earlier? What's that?
LGBTQ. Lesbian, right? LG.
Okay.
Gay, bisexual, transgender.
Right.
And the Q is it has double meaning. It's queer and questioning.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what the Q
That's-
was. Queer.
like that word.
And other folks have identified the Q differently, and I don't want to repeat because I'm not exactly clear about it. But
That's fine.
I've heard and I use queer and questioning.
Okay. Okay. So it wasn't LGBT. So it's not lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender. Okay. So queer and questioning.
Bisexual, transgender, and queer and questioning.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for that clarification. Okay.
No worries.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so my next question is, what are some of the challenges in same-sex relationships? I'm assuming they're the same as in heterosexual relationships, but just because we're all people. But being in a same-sex relationship, for instance, being in a relationship with a woman. Are you in a relationship, Angela? Oh, here you go. Give me your mic, because I'm going to be asking questions. Wait, what did you say? She did what? Heidi, you start and she had a what?
She had to pause first.
Uh-oh. She had a pause.
Yes, I'm in a relationship.
You're in a relationship. Okay, so what challenges do you face being in a same-sex relationship? Being with another woman, are there
challenges? Everything's the same. We go to work together. We come home and cook and take care of the kids and
go to work together and come home together?
Yes, we go to work together.
A lot of time together.
Yeah, we do a lot of time together. We go on vacations together. We do everything together. So there's no challenges. It's just like any other relationship.
A lot of time together.
Yes.
You have to meet her. To meet her boo, you would see that it works, and that doesn't work with everybody.
Right.
Because I'm not in a relationship right now, but the one that I was in with, Lord, if I had to work with him and then live with him, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be behind somebody's bringing a cup across let me out.
So there are challenges.
It works. Everybody can't do that, but
right.
It does work with that. And I've seen it, and it's really amazing.
Right. And for you, Marsha, what challenges do you face in relationships? Are they the same, you would say, in same sex as heterosexual? The challenges you've experienced?
The definitive answer is yes, they're pretty much the same. The personal challenges that I've had is being with women who are not gay. It's almost like women on the down low. That's another term.
Down low women.
Terms, but anyway, in a relationship with a woman who clearly indicated to me that she is not gay, but she loved Marsha. Allowing myself to be okay with that, and after I guess about 3 years. Her deciding that she wanted to, I hate to use the term go back, be comfortable with where she wanted to be comfortable, and that was with a man, or being with men, not with a man, but being with men. And having to accept that, because if I'm accepting of who I am, then it is clear to me that I must accept where other people choose to be too, and that's TOO, which is defined as also.
Exactly.
So that has been the biggest challenge for me, getting with women who are not gay. And I have now most recently, present day state, decided not to be with any women who want to use me as a test tube for their level of curiosity.
Marsha.
I refuse, and that's quote unquote new. I don't need any additional notches in my belt. That was never the case. I get with people because I choose to be with them and look for long-lasting relationships. And this epiphany has been very refreshing for me because now I have the opportunity with the God that I honor to put someone in my life who is going to honor me.
Very well said. Very well said.
Marsha, I have a question. Are you saying that your challenge was being with a woman that was or is in the closet or that is not gay? Is that the challenge? Is the challenge getting with the woman that is not gay, or is the challenge getting with the woman that's in the closet?
It's two different things,
right.
And that's a really good question. A woman that's in the closet is gay, but chooses not to let people know that she's gay. That's Correct. In the closet. A woman who is not gay might just be attracted to the individual, but not attracted to other women. And that's the relationship that I just came out of. Now, you guys could sit there and say, oh, she's in denial. How could you be with a gay woman for 3 or 4 years and then decide that you're really not gay? That's not for me to decide for her. So closet is one thing. Women who are gay but choose not to be out, and not gay women who are just not gay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. So you're saying that she chose. Okay, so she's saying she was not gay, but she was attracted to you. So that if she could have
Correct.
found, so there were some qualities that you had that she liked, but she didn't want to accept loving a woman. So if she could have found the qualities you had in a man, then she would have been satisfied.
She was the closeted bisexual.
Could be.
Was she?
Can't call it.
But you have to respect the fact that she told you. It may have been 3 years later, but she came to you and she said, you know what, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this. And 3 years you said, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I respect her decision to be true to herself.
Right.
So you can't, I scratch my head when we don't want people to judge us, and then in turn we want to judge others. It's an oxymoron that just doesn't make sense. If she has decided that this is what she wants for her life, then clearly she's not tied to my destiny.
Right. Choices and decisions. She had the right to exercise hers.
And if she is conflicted, right? And she, she's a wonderful woman. God sent it in the whole 9 yards. And we go back on, where does God fit in all this? And I'm not even going to go there right now. But it was her conflict and what she needed to deal with. And I told her, my arms are too short to box with God. Way too short. And if this is what you feel that you need to fulfill your life, then we part with blessings for one another in love, and that's it. You understand? I don't have to call her names. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to do none of that.
That's true.
None of that.
See, in the same in a heterosexual relationship.
Not today.
And with me, it's when you know better, you do better. And and I am no longer the person that I used to be, where I will ever degrade myself by dating someone that I cannot see you in the daytime. Well, I got to sneak around and see you tonight. See, that means he's on the down low. He's sneaking around. I'm not sneaking. I'm not going to be anything that you have to be ashamed to walk down the street with in the daylight. So that was always a challenge. Right. The challenge my challenge now is not the challenge that I used to have. Mm-hmm. That used to be a challenge.
Right.
That's no longer a challenge of mine now.
Right.
My challenge now is to find a man who is God-fearing, he loves himself, he loves his family, and he knows who he is in the day, and it's comfortable.
It's comfortable with himself as well as
me,
you.
As who I am.
You want to say something now?
Well, you had mentioned something earlier about respect, and I've been sitting over here just watching it too, and I do a lot of things, and I didn't get your name.
I'm Ray Quentin.
Ray Quentin, and Ray Quentin is the best example. The problem with discrimination a lot of times is, as you said, a comfort level, because a lot of men are uncomfortable with gay guys who come out, and I guess we use the word flaming, because there's a indecisiveness about you. You want to act like a woman, but clearly you're a guy, and a lot of them they overimpose. I mean, it's cool to be gay, but don't come into my world if I say, hey, I'm not like that, and you keep telling me this and keep telling me that. And just watching what you've done around here, I mean, you like a pretty cool dude. I mean, I would hang out with you because you don't seem like the overimposing type. And a lot of people don't have gay friends who can explain things to them. Because I never had a clear understanding. I worked at a gay club, and I got a clear understanding, and a lot of things made sense to me after that.
And I have a lot of straight male friends that I have had for years. And they call me their Brister. Because you know what I mean.
But we can have conversation,
Right.
and that's what most people, most straight guys are scared to have a conversation. Because I got friends who's like, how can you have gay friends? Dude, a friend is a friend.
Yeah.
Whether he like boys, girls, or whatever, as long as they of legal age, who cares? I mean, I know a bunch of straight guys, R. Kelly, who like underage people. I have a problem with that.
Right.
Cause he got the video talking about anyway.
I know what you
but and that was a thing. And you know, I work at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show, and there's lots of people. Derek J is one of my friends.
Yeah.
People like
I love Derek.
He's a good person.
He is.
You don't look at that. And then I forgot her name. Angela. Don't worry, I'm old. I don't even remember my name sometimes. And guys have a bigger problem with pretty women who are gay, because most guys, and the difference between guys and men, guys don't want to accept the fact that sometimes it's us, sometimes it's you, and they don't want to hear that because they want all lesbians to look. They want them to be like 240 with the milk mustache. That's what men want the lesbian to be. That way we can go, yeah, it's her, and they have problems with that. So when you guys come across as articulate, it's easy when you're talking to somebody who's open-minded, because we're not the ones you got to worry about. But when we have our meetings and you can hear people who, I'm not homophobic. Why you say it? It's kind of like people who say I got black friends. Absolutely. If you know that you got black friends, you're a racist. I like white people, but whatever. So I just want to say you guys are really good. Well, anyway, and that's the fear, and that's part of the discrimination process, and especially if you guys look happy, because we don't want to see you holding hands. I mean, we talked about it earlier on my show about some of the gay scenes on TV. They're a little too much sometimes.
It's a double standard.
It is
with gay women and gay men. It's
right, because one is more accepted right now.
Absolutely.
Because people have a fantasy about they want to see two gay women, but they don't want to see two gay men.
But you'll be surprised how many men can't handle gay women because they fear that they can't compete with another woman. So
but they can't.
Well, when I'm
saying, they think they can't. So even though they say they're like looking at it, if you ask, I guarantee if she went to
when me and my girlfriend are out, and guys approach us, and we tell them we're together, they're like, yeah, right, whatever. And then they don't take us serious,
right? Because they don't want
we're
to.
Pretty girls, and they're too pretty to be gay. Why y'all being gay? I mean, we get all that
right
all the time, and then we'll tell them we're gay. Then I'm like, I don't care, and then they're like, what's your number? They still be trying to talk.
But I guarantee
they don't respect. They really don't.
Right. But if you invite a half of them, they would be too scared to come because they don't know what to do in that arena. They'd be too scared to come.
If you invite them over,
if you say come with us, let me get your number. I'll call you. And I guarantee you more, because when we talk amongst each other, you
try that. Yeah. Try that. Let us know.
So would you date a lesbian? No. Because they can't. They scared to compete with women.
Yeah, but they be the first ones to say I can handle both.
Right. It's talk though. But if you put the challenge to them, if you say, okay,
come on, number.
Yeah, come on with it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, they need to go to the gas station first to put some gas in the car. They're not gonna follow you.
Right.
I'm DVP.
DVP.
Yes, sir.
DVP has been my experience that the men, they have a more of a respect for. I can't speak for everybody,
right.
But the men that I have been around in my life and dealt with, they have a more of a respect for the gay that is not sneaking behind their back. The gay that's not in the closet. You know what I'm saying? They respect me for not being that one that they find out later. Man, you gay all this time, You saw me in like a room, whatever.
Right.
They respect me for being up front with them, let you know off top. Yeah, I'm gay, I don't want you.
But you're not flaming. And Alex, I don't know if that's a demeaning word, but you're not flaming. And I hate to use what's the lady name? What guy who's on TV on the
Can you hold this mic, please?
The Queen, what's the, you know what I'm talking about? The show?
You talking about
Lady J.
Oh, Lady J.
It's a little over the top. Most guys are uncomfortable with that over the topness.
Oh, the light skin one.
No,
the one that's always with Derek.
Oh,
right. Over the top. And
Red lipstick.
They have to show together.
right.
Okay,
Who
okay.
you have to
Queen's
call
a
who you
fashion
have to
queen.
call a woman. If you call him man, it's a fight coming. Dude, you're a man. I mean, you may like what you like, but yeah. Oh, you made me hold the mic.
So if you see a transvestite, would you call her a woman or would you call her?
No, what most time I refrain from calling anybody anything because we're in Atlanta. You never know.
Okay.
I just start talking. I ain't gonna say ma'am, sir. I just start talking until they say once you tell me your name, then I got a clue.
Okay.
Because if you want to be called Teresa, I ain't gonna say Mr. Teresa. Okay. Your name will dictate what I say to you. And like I said, I mean, I'm open minded. I don't really care as long as you don't force. I mean, it's the same thing with women. I don't want a woman coming up to me telling me I should try her. I don't want a dude doing the same thing either. So respect. If you're open-minded, it just goes both ways. And there's some people who are, it ain't no different with straight people than with gay people. Some gay people are just really disrespectful. Yeah. And they make you act a certain way.
Thank you. Yeah, you can. Okay, thank you. We had a part of a King's Eye View part 2. I'm just kidding. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm coming to that show, so make sure you don't talk about me. I can defend myself.
I actually had a question about it was something that was brought up about it being more accepted for women, and that was a question that I wanted to ask Marsha and all of you guys. So why is it that if a woman is bisexual, it's okay, but if a man, I mean, if he deals with men, it's just not the same. If he deals with men, he's gay, period. But women, it's okay for women to be bisexual. It's not okay for men. Whoever can go first, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What you think?
Marsha, look.
Marsha, what you think? Go ahead, Marsha. What do you think, Marsha?
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, the question stumped us here, so we're waiting on you.
Yeah, the question is out there, and I don't know as a gay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Shawana, can you hear me?
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I'm looking. I'm not really sure. I can't answer that question because I don't know why heterosexuals feel the way that they feel. I can't answer, why is it more accepting for women and less accepting for men? I can't answer the question. I'm not even going to try. You would have to ask them.
Well,
and if there's a homosexual in the room, maybe they should take that question.
Yeah. And actually, the funny thing is, that was one of the things that we talked about in DVP's show today, that it's different. And there are multiple reasons. One of the first ones that we'll start off with is the fact that we know that, as they say, women in the world outnumber men 4-1. That's just a natural thing. Most people are initially born women. So men have gotten into that, and that is a thought process that they have when you see that, because you've seen it. And then also the other part of, I think, of why people are a little bit more comfortable with it is because we've always heard that for women, it's usually more of an emotional connection that they missed with a lot of men. And so that's why those women need those emotional connections and stuff. I kind of wanted to piggyback on something that DVP said. And I think that's really where it is. Because, I can honestly say, I have friends, I tell people it's behaviors as we, like I said, we won't get too much into the whole religion part of it. But the key is you're supposed to hate, as they say, the sin and not the sinner. And I tell people, I have male friends who cheat. And they know for a fact, Roy is not the dude to try to use as your alibi. Because that's not going to work with me. I'm like, I don't care how. Right. I don't care who you. I'm not going to hold you up in that because I look at that as wrong. So even when we talk about people and their sexual preference, because I really do believe it, that's what it is. And it was very interesting. This is the first time I've heard this many people who are homosexual say that it really is. Ultimately, it's a choice because, in my opinion, that's what sex is. You don't have to have sex. First off, you don't have to do it. You can go without it. And the point that DVP was.
And look,
Slow your roll. Like, if you all want to, now you ain't got to do nothing. you ain't gonna explode as much as you might think. But
if I can't sit, I'm behind the bar cleaning thing.
But the thing is, I think with men, the thing that most men, when we look at that, I think it really is the thing that you talk about with the DVP said. It's that, you know what? Be who you gonna be. I've been around athletes. I'm 44 years old. I've been in locker rooms. I've got friends who are in professional locker rooms. Michael Sam's ain't nothing special. It's been gay men in the NFL forever. And they know it. And people know it. So it was like, okay, dude, we know that there's some dudes out there who is just as manly, but that's what they like to do. And, so you have to look at it. And we do have, I think uncomfortable was probably the best word that I've ever heard anybody use it, because it is when you get those, the flaming. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's really because it's the only description that we had. And like, I have a guy, and I will say to this day that Victor is my friend. And me and Victor used to work together when I lived in Tallahassee. We worked at a hospital together. It was actually a mental hospital. But Victor was not. Yeah, I worked there. I clocked in and out.
Are you sure?
I left and went home. But Victor was not a flaming gay person who was or over the top. Maybe I'll say he was not over the top. And we didn't push, he didn't push his thing on me. And that's my thing with anything. Don't push what you want on me. And then at the same time, you can't be mad at someone if they disagree with you. I think Marsha's point was so apropos in the sense that we do that. We talk about not judging people, but then that's what we still end up doing. And if that's who you know what, hey, do what you gonna do. Leave me out of it. And that's my thing. If I disagree with your lifestyle is, that's cool. That don't mean we can't still be friends. Because I look at it when it come time for business, because like I've got some folks that I know are good at what they do. What you do when you leave here don't matter to me if we gonna make some money together. Doing what we're trying to do. So. But I think that is to go to that question. It's that over the topness, because
that makes people
now
uncomfortable,
right? And not because, and I don't think just because it makes you uncomfortable, but also because exactly it seems fake. If you're a man, and be a man, if you like you said, you the way you used to dress, the way you used to, you're like, hey, look, that didn't work for me no more, but I still like to wear makeup. Okay, that's you. Right, exactly, and that's what it is. Don't that, because that really does bother me when I see these guys who just I mean, just it's one thing when you with your friends, but when you just walking down the street and doing that, it's like, why?
But it bothers.
See, that is the first time.
From the king.
That is the first time I've ever heard somebody in the community say that.
That was one of my questions. I got the mic back from the king. Whew. Thank you. But that was a question I had too. Is there bias within the LGBTQT community?
Absolutely.
Is there a bias within there? But I want to take a break if we could and come back, because we had another guest just come in, so I'd like to bring him on as well. So I'll ask you, Marsha, if you can hang on just a second. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment with Queen's Eye View. And we got to give the number out too, because we had when we come back. That's what I was going. The king said when we come back, we're going to give out the phone number. So stay with us. Queen's Eye View. No, I wasn't.
Lisa, you've been staring at that computer screen for 30 minutes. What's wrong?
Oh, it's my new marketing campaign. I want to tell people how great my business is, but I don't know what to say. I need copy for the website, newsletters, and brochure, and I'm drawing a blank. Writing just isn't my thing.
My boss had the same problem, and he called Put It in Writing Professional Writing Service.
Put it in writing? What's that?
It's a business just for people who need copywriting, but don't have the budget for the big marketing and PR firms. They help my company tell tell everyone about the great products and services we offer through our website. And when my cousin recorded his CD, put it in writing, wrote his bio and press release. They even do resumes.
That's good to know, because I'll be looking for a job if this business doesn't take off.
Don't worry. Call the professionals at Put It in Writing at 901-359-6629 and check out the website at putitinwriting2.com. That's putitinwriting2.com.
A passion for what you do plus investing in your skills equals the promised success that is Salon Envy. The vision for Salon Envy is to provide a professional working environment for the staff filled with positive energy, genuine respect for one another, and continuing education to stay on top of this ever-changing industry. Our goal for our clients is to create an experience that keeps you coming back for more. We are an exclusive beauty boutique with a team of hairstylists working alongside brow and makeup care specialists. We provide refreshments daily and a soothing ambiance with plenty of fun and laughter. We exude comfort, class, and style. So stop in and visit them at 865 Indian Trail in Lilburn, Georgia. Book your appointments at 770-686-3417 or check them out online at salonenvyatl.com. And remember, at Salon Envy, don't just envy, indulge. Are you in need of a dessert for a special event? Maybe a custom birthday cake. I know, it's your wedding day and you want a cake that will stimulate your taste buds and capture and create the memories for that special day. Well, Sweet Destination should be your choice. Let Master Sweet Designer Montevia Gamble create a unique and delicious cake for your special occasion. But that's not all. Sweet Destination also creates other desserts, from cheesecakes, homemade fudge, brownies, cookies, pies, cake pops, cupcakes, and just about anything that you can think of. So check them out at sweetdestinations.com or on Facebook under Sweet Destinations. Remember, the greatest conversations take place on the road to the sweetest destinations of the human mind. So let's do more than business. Let's make memorable moments. We are Sweet Destinations.
Welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. I'm sorry. I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi. I'm Don Michelle.
Ray Quinton.
Angela.
And we got Juan Carlos over in the back. He a little camera shy. And we got Marsha. You there?
I'm right here.
Marsha.
I am right here.
And we just want to thank you all for tuning in and staying tuned in. And we got kind of carried away and we didn't give you guys the phone number. It's 678-701-3738. That's 678-701-3738. Before we went to, I'm sorry. Okay, and the regular link should be back up and working. We apologize for that. That's myjbn.com/queens. Okay, it's it's myjbn, the one on a question mark / myjbn.com/queens, all lowercase. It's myjbn.com / thank you, Dawn Michelle, queens, all lowercase. Before we went to break, the question was, is there bias within the lesbian, gay, bi, LGBTQ community? LGBTQ?
LGBTQ. Yes, Shay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is there a bias within the gay community? How about that? Okay, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it simple. How about that?
There is definitely a bias in the gay community. I know. I've seen, and I've that just reminded me of something. Personally, when you go into a club, you see it more in the club than anything, where the
Is it a gay club you go in?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, the queens, the feminine guys, they are all in their own little bunch. And then the masculine guys are over here, and they really have nothing to do with them unless they're trying to holler at them on the slide.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's very segregated in the gay community. And I don't know why, because we're all in the same rainbow boat.
Right. Right.
So, you know, this person is more feminine than that person, so you look down your nose at that person. Oh, yeah, it's really, it's serious. It is serious. It's just as bad. You would think it would be unified, but it's not.
Wow.
It really is.
And there's something I wanted to bring up about that. I have a girlfriend who is well known in the lesbian community in this city. She's a celebrity. And she said publicly she has written books and on her show that if they ever passed gay marriage in Georgia, she was moving. Because she's firmly, her firm stance is gay folks, which she is a lesbian, should not be married. That marriage was not an institution created. I'm just telling you her position for the gay community. She believed in what is it that used to be passed, but I don't even know that all states are doing it anymore, where you could have your properties and whatever the same, but it's not considered marriage. It's considered something else. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Law. Yeah, not common law. It's the other thing.
What's it called?
Partnerships.
Whatever it is that by law you were able to pass your things and still have heirs and insurance and whatever. But her whole thing is she doesn't believe that gays get married. And like when the whole thing went down with Chick-fil-A, she was like, the man, he has the right to have his own damn opinion. Everybody doesn't have to be on the same wavelength. So I wanted to bring that up because then I got a group of gay friends who have a total different opinion about what other gay people are doing out and about in the community or what they're advocating for or against. So I just wanted to get some sense from anybody in the room, panel, or Marsha. Hey, Marsha, I love your stuff. You know, cause she has great stuff. But I'm just saying what your thoughts were on that.
On Carlos?
If
anybody.
I think your friend has the right.
I'm not clear what the question is. I'm sorry. What's the question?
My question is, I mean, when he was talking about that there are factions within the community that segregate themselves. Clearly, everybody is not. It doesn't matter if you're in the same rainbow. Everybody ain't on the same point on the rainbow. I guess is really what I'm trying to say. Everybody doesn't advocate. Just because you're in the community doesn't mean you think the same or you have the same. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't have the same belief system.
But you know what? On the same token,
Right, but I would argue that that's in any community.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Right,
I'm asking you guys to address that because there's some clear. No, you're good, Quinn. I just wanted you guys to address that because clearly everybody ain't on the same page.
Right. Yeah, but you have to understand this is a new thing.
I guess
so. It's going to take. They're still working off the bugs. In this marriage thing, they're still working them out, and with anything that's new, it's going to be some problems at first.
You know what?
It's
honestly,
going to be some rocky roads.
I'm actually okay now. I would say, until you said what you said, Heidi, about your girlfriend not being opposed to marriage for gay couples, which actually was surprising to me. I'm actually okay with that as long as they get the same rights. If they never let gay couples get married in every state and made it something for all of you in every state, as long as you still get the same rights that marriage couples get, then you can make the choice to get married or not get married, but you still get the same rights. That's what's the most important thing to me, is that you don't get discriminated against and you get the same rights, whether you want to get married or not.
I think it's a choice if she wants to get married or not. Everybody, most women wants to get married. Some women wants to be a pretty bride, but, I think it's her choice that she doesn't want to get married. What's she going to do when all the states going to have marriages? What's going to happen then?
like I said, this was just, first of all, like I said, this is an opinion. Okay. You know, and I'm putting out there because I've noticed that recently, in probably the last year or two or even 3, that this became an issue for political reasons, not necessarily because everybody in the community was making it an issue. I noticed that it was hyped up, and you guys know what I mean when I say politics. People throw out an issue and they hype it up for their own purposes, whether or not somebody wants something or doesn't, or they don't. I'm not saying that people don't advocate for marriage, and I'm not saying you're not protesting, but everybody who's in the gay community ain't protesting. Everybody is not in the same place. Like you say, people are different, everybody around. So I just put it out there because I'm meeting a lot of people, like with my friends who are, which I think is an oxymoron, my conservative gay friends. I was like, really? You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So see, you know, everybody doesn't think the same. You know, and I just kind of feel like sometimes everybody wants to put all gay folks in a box and say, well, if one, you know, we're all advocating for these same things. But like the girlfriend was telling me, she was like, the hell with that man said at Chick-fil-A. I don't care. I'm still buying my Chick-fil-A, but he can think what he wants to think. Why should I care? And that was her position. I'm just putting it out.
And that leads me to the next question. Is it right to refuse service to someone who's lesbian or gay? You know, is it right that you have the right to say, I'm not going to service you? I was reading something that was on, somebody had posted on
money
Facebook.
Ain't gay.
Right. Hello?
Okay.
Right. Because if you think about it, the lesbians and gays, they actually contribute a heck of a lot of money into the economy.
I'm almost 42 years old. I have never seen a gay dollar.
Hello?
Thank
right.
you.
I read something where this salon, it was a nail salon in North Carolina, and 2 men came in to get their nails done, and they refused to do their nails.
Really?
Right.
See, that's
now there's a
blatant to me. That's blatant.
But that was the thing. Somebody said, and not being racist here, but somebody said, how dare you discriminate against a group of people when you of all people came here? You know, you're willing to do anything, you know, any type of job to make some money. And somebody came in to get tips. 2 men came in to get tips on their hands, and the lady refused and called the police. But then again, somebody said, well, they have a right to refuse service, because most places you go, they say we reserve the right to refuse services to someone. So if somebody says, I don't want to, like, you know, you go to the barbershop and they say we reserve the right to refuse to do your hair if it's dirty. There's signs in barbershops. Yes. You know? Yes. But let me ask Juan Carlos. I'm just going to hand the mic over to Juan Carlos. Do you think that someone has the right to refuse services to someone for being lesbian or gay?
No, I don't, because that's blatant discrimination. And I think when people make a decision like that, it's definitely driven by something else. Right.
Correct. So would you say it's their personal beliefs, or would you say it's their personal beliefs, or is it their
I believe
fear, or
I believe it's that because they feel empowered because it is their business and they can run it the way that they would like it to run, but it's still discrimination.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is discrimination.
And that is exactly why, Shay, for you to bring that up, that's why I asked you guys, had you ever blatantly been discriminated against and how it made you feel? Something like that.
Marsha, do you think they have that right? I mean, if somebody owns a business, do they have the right to refuse service to someone because they're lesbian or gay? If they're
no, they do not.
Because
no,
that's discrimination.
they do not. I believe there's a gentleman in the room now named Juan Carlos.
Juan Carlos, yes.
Yeah, and he hit it right on the head. It's discriminatory. It's discriminatory practices, and it's part of the civil liberties. Runs the gamut. It doesn't matter whether or not you're gay, you're lesbian, you're black, you're white, you're Chinese, you're Japanese, you're Indian. You know, it is not people's call to decide on who they want to serve. And if you have a business that's open to the public, well, I would argue that I am part of the public, and I am deserving of being served. It is not, if you put out a sign that says we are not going to serve gay and lesbian people, then you're doing your business a disservice. You're not really doing me a disservice. The conversation needs to shift a little bit here, because it is a discriminatory, biased, prejudicial practice that is unacceptable in our community and in our country. Unacceptable.
Agreed. Absolutely. I think it is definitely discriminatory. And, you know, it's really a shame, you know, that we have to go through so many discrimination people. Yeah.
What's your take on adoption and raising children in same-sex relationships?
Okay, this is my area. Well, seriously, this is my business. You gotta understand. That's what the Children's Advocacy Centers a lot of the children who have come through our centers, and a lot of the children who have been in situations, a lot of them end up in foster care, or, you know, are in a situation where they're parentless for more than one reason. And I'm just going to be real with you. Some of my best foster parents and best adopted folks were gay. It is what it is. I don't care if you gay, straight, bi, whatever a good parent is a good parent. Now, I have, in the community that I work in, we work with faith-based organizations who have strong views and biases against whether or not gay or lesbian should have children. And it's not all, and then I had one lady come in my center the other day and said, Miss Anderson, can y'all please not make my child gay anymore? Can y'all help me? Okay, that was laughable. But what this is the real. He unfortunately was in a situation where he had sexual relationship with an adult male, which is a crime because he was a minor. But as a result, he was going through some confusion, and we offer free therapy in our centers. So while he was going through therapy, her request to us was, can y'all now make my son not gay anymore? Because, you know, he was going through confusion. That's not what we do. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Therapy, first of all, it has to address the situation, the criminal act, the abuse. It has nothing to do, you know what I mean? We don't address, you know what I mean? Although there is gender issues that can come up after any situation that deals with sex and abuse situations, because we see them happen all the time with our kids. But that's not what we do. So I'm just putting it out there, you guys, that it doesn't really matter what you are. If you're a good parent, you're a good parent, and that's the bottom line.
I have a 24-year-old son, and I've been raising him all his life. And I gave him almost 20 years. And he has no problem with me. He has no problem with my people who I'm around. He's a straight young man, heterosexual, handsome, loves girls, has no problem with anything. So I don't think it has anything to do with you being gay or you being straight. As long as you take care of home and you treat them kids the way they need to be treated, everything's all right.
Statistically, the number of children that are molested by heterosexual men, not gay men.
Here.
Not gay men. And to the faith-based people that you were, organizations you were talking about, I'm going to say this. I was raised by straight heterosexual parents. So shouldn't I be straight? Exactly. What makes you think that if you're raised by a gay parent that you're going to be gay?
Right. Thank you.
No, two things I actually want to mention. Ray Quinton just said something. Most people, and again, I'm using let me not say most people. Some people would think the comment you just made about children who are being molested or boys, because you have to look at it if you say molesting of a child, a young boy being molested by another man, we're going to say he's not heterosexual. Because pedophilia is something that's already completely separate. And to do that, I would not consider a man who molests young boys as heterosexual. Because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Because a heterosexual man doesn't have sexual desires towards a young boy. So, we would look at that differently.
That would fall under the closet stuff. And
right.
That would fall over sickness.
No.
That would fall up on the
right.
No, I mean, you still want to take advantage of somebody, but when you said it, I was a cop. Most of the guys that did it had those undercover tendencies, and that's why they picked the predator who they figured couldn't tell, because if they did it with a grown man, if they said it to a grown man, they wouldn't have the same amount of control of them keeping quiet. But they were what we would consider on the down low, because they liked males, but they just had to pick a smaller male. It's no different than bullying. Let me pick somebody who ain't big enough to tell anybody or fight back.
Right. I'm just saying that's the thought process we have. The other thing, and this is an opinion that I heard. I actually just heard this last week to someone, and it was in reference to the whole question about gay and lesbian couples wanting to raise children. And the point that was made, they were like, well, once you decide to go into that type of relationship, you give up that option. Because if you cannot naturally have that child, that was their thought process, the people that were making the argument. Like, your situation is different. You said your son is 24, but you've been gay for only 20 years. From what you're looking, so it was a transition that happened to you after that. So that's a different situation that people are looking at. So when you hear that, because of course you do, and I mean we've seen it. We were talking about Scandal, earlier, and I'm just using it as an example because really though, but the whole thing with Cyrus and his mate wanting to raise the young girl, wanting to adopt and stuff. Because people, that is a question. It's like, well, what is that child being taught? What is that, the people, heterosexual people, there is a homophobia is real in the sense that not necessarily that they're afraid of homosexual people as much as it's the lifestyle that they don't understand and don't know. Just like Darren, their DVP said, it's different when you hear an explanation from someone who's doing something than just the assumptions that you've made to that point.
So many people are comfortable in being ignorant.
Oh, there's plenty of people
when
comfortable
you try
in
to
ignorance.
Explain the lifestyle to certain people, they don't want to hear it because it's not what they're used to hearing. So they stay in ignorance, they stay closed-minded, they stay judgmental.
And it's closed, and maybe the ignorance is the word. We're closed-minded because everybody has the right. Just like Mark said, everybody has the right to their opinion. The reality of this world, and more specifically this country, that's what this country was supposedly founded on. Your right to choose to do and say the things that you want to or whatever. But
okay,
that's my thing.
Tawana and family, can I jump in for a second?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Who is the gentleman that is speaking?
Oh, that's the king, the producer.
It's
that's
Roy.
The king, Roy.
It's Roy. Okay, I didn't know who was speaking. You used some statements that my spirit is telling me to. You've given up that option. I have never given up the option, and I'm not saying you, Roy, per se. I just need to address the phrase. I have never given up my option to love because I am gay, be it a child. Or a woman or another a man, anybody. My choice to love is very real. What is the child being taught? That is the most ridiculous statement personally that I have ever heard. If you are coming into a loving home, then you are being taught how to love, how to care, how to inspire, how to encourage, how to motivate, how to lead, how to make something out of your life. There are households that do not offer those attributes to little people. So I would question whether or not, what a child is being taught in anyone's home. And it's the lifestyle that people are have misperceptions about. I agree with that 100%, and that is why conversations like this are so important, to have a balance between the heterosexual community and the gay and lesbian community, because first of all, I'm a diversity and inclusion executive as well. Human resources is my field, is my industry. I'm also the founder of the Hugs movement, helping us grow spiritually. My movement is about moving the spirit, inspiring, encouraging, and uplifting others through our words, actions, and deeds. Anybody that comes into my space is going to receive that. So the whole lifestyle thing, my life, my mission, my purpose, my passion is about caring and giving to other people. That is my lifestyle. The choice that I've made to be gay is a part of my lifestyle. Do you get me? I mean, that's where I come from. That is who I am. But I appreciate the phrases. I appreciate the information and how you've laid it out, because it is very real. And these are the things that we need to be talking about.
Just kind of getting back to the children being adopted, or children being raised by homosexual couples. I've been told, now Heidi probably would know better since this is her field, but I was told that it's difficult for a gay couple to adopt a child, just as it's difficult for a single parent to adopt a child. Because I've always thought, if I never got married and I wanted to adopt a child, I was told that it's gonna be very difficult for me. And I was told that it's also very difficult for a homosexual couple to adopt a child. And I just want to say that I think that's unfortunate, because love is love is love is love, whether it's just one person giving it. Because if I honestly made a decision to adopt a child as a single parent, then I'm going to do it knowing that I'm going to be able to take care of that child financially, mentally, spiritually, everything that child needs, even though it's just me. So it's the same. I think it's the same for a gay couple. Love is not gay or straight. It's just not. So
I just wanted to talk about geographical location. When it comes to that statement that Dawn made, we live here. We're in the South. We're in the Bible Belt. And a lot of the adoption agencies in Atlanta, since I work with the nonprofit community, are faith-based adoption agencies. I'm putting it out there. So therefore, they do, and I have had several cases of it being or homosexual parents or partners or whatever they are. It doesn't matter, trying to come in, whether they be a homosexual single person or homosexual couple. They have been told, we do not support the lifestyle. We will not we will not adopt chicks out, especially newborns, because newborns in my business is what you consider it's a commodity that's rare. It's like most people don't get newborns. It's very, very rare that it comes up. Yes, we got a lot of kids having babies in pregnancy, but everybody ain't giving up their babies. I'm just keeping it real. So I just wanted to say, geographically here, it may be more difficult, but in other parts of the country where I've gone to travel, in organizations, it's starting to open up much more. And then to be really honest with you, a lot of people adopting internationally. They're getting kids from overseas now. So a lot of the gay men parents that I have, that we've seen come through our organization, they got their child from another country. And I mean, that's just what I don't know if that's a fad or anything, but it's clearly going on at this point.
Hey, it's Shar. I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what you guys were talking about in reference to, of course, kids being raised in a homosexual or same-sex home. And I think just like with kids, period, whether you're in a heterosexual household or whatever, kids are taught behaviors. You know, when you put a child out into a playground, there could be Caucasian, it could be Indian, Asian kids. I mean, kids of all different nationalities. And if they are playing jump rope, guess what? Everybody's jumping rope. If they're on the slide, everybody's on the slide. The only time there is any type of separation is when that child has been exposed to some type of racism, basically because because they were taught that that was what was accepted in their household. And the same goes with being in a same-sex household. It's what you're taught. You know, this is a topic that kind of touches home for me too. And I'm going to be real with you guys because Ra, you met Ra, my companion. You know, that's my first heterosexual relationship in my adult life. Okay? And my son was raised in the house with myself and my ex-girlfriend. Okay? And one thing I can say is my son is very, he's so loving because he's been in a household where he had a mother who lived that lifestyle, you know, and was comfortable in communicating to him what it was about, what love was about, not being judgmental. And when I tell you this, when things or situations would occur in school, he would be the first to say, that's not fair. Because he was exposed to understanding a different way of life. And I think it's the biggest thing is communication. If you can communicate and be open and honest with your kids and you teach them love. Love is not a color. Love has nothing to do with your preference. Love is about what an individual gives you and what you receive, deposits, withdrawals. That is what it's about, a balance. And if you can have that balance in a single home, or you can have that balance with two individuals who totally, genuinely care about each other, regardless of the sex, period.
Absolutely. Well said. You got a question?
I do have a question, and I don't know if it was something that you had. And, you know, I'll take this as, again, I'm, you know, going in from my perspective of looking at certain things. The issue, and I'm going to use that word for lack of a better term. The main issue that I have personally had, I guess, with, and it's not really even the individuals in the gay and lesbian community, but being a black man in the South, you know, having grown up in Florida, dealing with stuff, I've always felt like when we talk about the discrimination, because we do understand that there is a discrimination, I don't like the comparison of the gay and lesbian rights as it equates to civil rights from a black person. Because regardless of whatever else happens, I don't have to open my mouth. I don't have to say anything. I am a black man. And they don't know if I'm heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. And those are things that's where to me that's one of the that's an issue that I've had. And I'm curious to see, especially because you all are African American, how is that dynamic? How do you deal? Not even how you deal with it, but what is your opinion on that dynamic? Because just like we talk about with, you know, we don't know that a man is a womanizer if he doesn't say anything, you know, unless you doesn't see it. Well, how do you all view that as a problem? Because like I said, for me, I guess that's the problem. I have the problem with gay rights being associated with civil rights for blacks. That's an issue for me because I don't think it's the same thing.
It is the same
You
thing.
understand?
Discrimination is
It's a minority struggle. It's a minority struggle. It's a minority struggle.
Right.
That's where
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. So no, you're right. No. Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. So you're saying you don't see how you can compare civil rights struggle with the struggle of lesbian and gays to be the same? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because to me, there's a difference. I don't have to if I don't say anything, I am still a black man. They are going to know that just by looking, just like with Raekwon. Regardless of what Raekwon says or does, if they don't see, if we're
not Raekwon,
Raekwon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad. Another person. Yeah, because I know the rapper. I think there's somebody rapper named Raekwon. And that's the only one I know.
Move on, Ray.
But no,
right.
But if we
change
know,
his name too.
Literally, if we are standing up, if the four men that are in here now are standing up with our back turned to someone, all they know is that we are black men or we are men of color. They don't know anything else about us. So that changes the dynamic of how we are dealt with situations. Now, Again, because I don't believe that you should discriminate on people because of the choices that they make. So I'm not saying that you guys don't have that. There's no valid argument about discrimination. I just don't like the equation of the gay and lesbian rights as it relates to the same as civil rights. Because you hear, well, it's the same thing, and it's like, to me, no, it's not. Because it's just like with any choice almost. You know, I can't help but be black. They can't change. There's nothing that's going to change that about me. Or there's nothing that anybody who won't look at me won't see.
But I'm going to jump in here because you're making a statement, but you're not finishing the thought. So, help me understand clearly, if possible, Roy, that what the civil rights of a black person. What's the rest of that? I mean, I'm not getting your hypothesis here.
But and maybe that's part of the issue for me, because I'm very involved in politics, and so one of the things that we've heard, and especially over the past few years, because it has become more acceptable or more open as it relates to the gay and lesbian community, and we're constantly hearing that, oh, it's the same as the civil rights struggle that black people dealt with. That's the part of it that I don't agree with. I don't believe it's the same. Why
is that?
Right, because you're still fighting for equality. You're fighting for the right to.
Right.
But hold on. Okay, go ahead, Marsha. I'm sorry.
No. But I just want to understand to your point. Why is that? Why is it different?
Right, because I feel like you're still fighting for the right to love who you want, to make choices, to make decisions. I'm just trying to get that out.
Just like African Americans, there are gays that cannot get a job because they are gay. There are gays that cannot. Excuse me.
They say they too flamey.
There are gays that are right. They can't get a job because they're gay. There are gays that cannot walk down the street in certain communities, just like African Americans, because they are gay. Just there's no
attacked and abused and
hold on, because that's
killed because
that's ridiculed
because of the choices that they've made.
Because that sounds just like
exactly. But see, that's my point. And you made the point earlier, Ray Quinn, you actually made the point. You said it. You were like, those are in your term, the choices that they've made. I don't have a choice about being black.
But then some people
hold on. So because of that, there are certain discriminatory acts that happen towards me that are going to happen just because I'm black. Now, let's use I'm from South Florida. There is a way.
Sorry.
Look, don't start. There is a way that I talk when I'm kicking it with my people on the corner. When I go to do when I go for a job interview, I'm not going to have the same type of vernacular that I have on the corner with my friends when I'm sitting in this corporate office trying to get a job.
That sounds like a gay person too.
But that's my point. And what did you say? What did you say? What did you say you do?
I have to conform. You have to conform too.
But that's it. But that has nothing to. No, it's not. That has nothing to do with the way I look. It has to do with the way I choose to articulate and talk. That's the choice that I make. If I want to be a thug, then I'm going to be a thug who can't get a job in corporate America.
And if I want to get a job, I'm going to have to lower my voice.
And that's my point. You're doing it, but it doesn't have anything to do with what you look like.
You don't lower your voice. Actually, black men are told to heighten their voices so they are less
right, because we're less threatening. In
I'm
a sense,
putting it out.
But I see that. I think that's, and this is the argument, and maybe this is where my disconnect with it is, because to me it is a physical issue. They cannot help but see a black man when I walk into the place. If me and you walked into the same job interview, they don't know that you're gay until you either. Look. Okay.
Stand up, right, Quentin.
Stand up, right, Quentin. Yeah, they do because of makeup. Yeah, they do.
But what did you say? Again, it's about the choice of how you choose to react around that.
Yeah.
Because just like my friend, just like the friend I told you about, hold on, Marsha, I'm going to let you, but just like the friend Victor I talked about. Victor didn't have those issues because when Victor went and did job interviews, he understood where he was going. Boom, exactly.
But I
so,
disagree. But go ahead, Marsha. Make your point, Marsha. Because
Yeah, let Marsha-
I'm with. I
Yeah,
on so many levels.
Because what I hear Roy saying, and please feel free to correct me, Roy. You seem to be equating civil rights with a physical appearance, and that is not what civil rights is about. Civil rights is about discriminatory practices against people who are different than what our society calls the majority. Civil liberties, civil rights is for everyone. And when those rights are compromised, be it whether it's because of the color of your skin, your lifestyle, your race, your gender, your age, that is infringing on my freedom, and it has nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing to do with the color of a person's skin. That is not the definition of civil rights. The civil rights movement, when Martin Luther King established the movement, was to gain rights for black people. However, as you watch and listen over the course of that period of time, civil liberties extended and broadened itself to include all people. So, evolution and change is a wonderful thing in our community. And if there are still people who believe that the civil rights campaign is still just for black people, then they are in a cocoon that they need to find their way out of, because that is clearly not the case.
And that you're right. I do want to correct you just a little bit, because I, like Dawn, I will say this: if someone wants to have like you said, civil liberties, there are some things that are inalienable human rights. That if your choice to whoever you're dealing with, and you want those same things, like being able to put somebody on your insurance, being able to bequeath your stuff, to whoever it is or whatever, you're right. Those are the opportunities to do that. But you even made the point. When we started this, when we talk about civil liberties and we talk about the starting of the civil rights movement, the civil rights movement was based primarily, it was actually based on and being for black people. They had to make a constitutional amendment to make us complete people in this country.
Once they realized it was not just black folks in this country.
But hold on, because that's my point. It's the fact that we are associating those particular rights. I'm not saying that people should not have human rights and be able to do the things, just like Heidi was saying, that civil union, do whatever, because marriage, if people must really understand something, marriage is a religious institution. So it's something that that marriage itself is a religious institution, and that's why they have the term civil unions, so that other people can do that, because it becomes a legal thing in that. But my point again is that being black is who I am. I have no choice in that because of the genetics, and people are going to make those determinations based on that. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have those rights. I'm just saying that I disagree with them being compared to it being black in that sense, or even from a gender standpoint, because it is men and women. That's what it went to. I mean, and if we talk about it, to be truth be told, the group that benefited most from the civil rights movement were white women.
Well, I'll interrupt. But you said being black, you have no control over that, and I would say who you love, you have no control over either, in my opinion.
And that's what
that's
to me,
my
that's
opinion.
a choice.
Well, but I disagree, because even to Marsha's point earlier, when she spoke about the young lady, she was involved in a relationship for 3 years, and the young lady said after 3 years, I gotta go. But I don't believe that you can really control who you love. I mean, you just choose if she's going to stay or not. I mean, you love who you love. And another point I just wanted to make to what you said earlier, if you are raised by your mother and your father, then as a woman, my mother's the first one to show me love. She's the one who kisses me, who touches me, who teaches me that. So why would I not love a woman? Because I got my love from a woman. You as a man, your father's the one who loves you, who shows you how to do things, how to be a man. So why would you not love a man? I'm not saying either one way or another, but if you want to talk about things in theory, then I learned how to love from a woman. So why would I not naturally love a woman?
I just wanted to say that Marsha's point, she made a statement that got me, which actually makes a lot of sense. I think it has evolved. She used the word evolve, which means it has expanded, it has changed, it is now encompassing of new things, new situations, other people. You know, the civil rights thing has evolved. But I just want to say this: Roy is not the only person who makes this point in the world. He's not the only man who thinks like this. So to kind of like just gang up on him, and I'm making this point as a whole. I'm not talking about us in general. As him, he's not the only person who thinks like this. For a long time, I think that people that black folks had, a lot of times when we heard, I never forget. I watched Ellen one day, and Ellen said in an interview, she was asked a question about her struggles as a gay woman, and she said, well, I think you would have to ask somebody how it feels to be black. And I remember when she made that statement, and it struck me like, I wasn't sure when she, right, but this is my opinion, Dawn. I'm saying when she initially made the statement, I went left too, because my whole thing is, the hell? You don't know shit about being black. That was my thought. Right, but Dawn, I'm just making the point. I'm telling you what my initial emotional response was when I saw that interview, okay? And this is what I will say. What I've heard people say is, and this is true because the struggle of the whole struggle that we've had for more than 400 or 500 years, not 2, not 1, 400 or 500. This struggle's been going on a long time. Is so encompassing that to be compared initially to the expansion of these new things that are coming in civil rights, a lot of people don't agree with. Because, like Roy said, when I walk down the street, all you see is my color. You don't see nothing else. You don't know if I'm gay, straight, blue, green, white. You don't know. All you see is my color. So I'm just saying, initially, I even had to evolve and expand my thought process. But it pissed me off because I would always see not black folks bring this up, but I would see gay folks who were white always comparing what they go to on a constant basis to my struggle. So I'm putting that out there because this is the first time I've had a conversation with a lot of African Americans in one room who were either homosexual or heterosexual. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of times, this argument I always heard from another race of people. And I hear whites compare a lot of things to us sometimes, and it pisses me off because their struggles and what we go through institutionally in this country, they don't even compare. They don't even want to have the conversation to begin with a lot of times. And I'm just keeping it real on that. They shy away from it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to, confront it. So when you put it out there, they always want to. So now what I hear is it's just like my gay struggle. So I'm just telling you how I felt emotionally when I first heard that. Okay.
But in a sense it is. I mean, honestly speaking, gay is the new black. And the reason it's such a big deal is because the way blacks do it. I mean, when Rock Hudson came out and was gay with liberal rights, you didn't hear a lot of people talking about it because it came out and it shut up. Blacks are, and it's more so with blacks because we're strong breed. Now, Ray is gay and black. Two struggles. So one struggle really ain't as big as the other struggle. He had to deal with being black because he's going to be black no matter what he does. And when Roy say you black all the time, we'll go back to, and I don't know how y'all play a disclaimer. It goes back to the house nigga feel nigga. All blacks don't look alike, because when we all grew up with the light skinned black guy with the good hair, nobody knew what he was. So every time you walk somewhere, I mean, we all look black, but we got friends who are black that don't look nothing like us. They didn't have the same struggle. So the gay struggle is the same as a civil, because they are picked on. And if you got people who are comfortable with it, when you see them, you know that they're gay. From the back, from the front, you know that they're gay. And when they come up, people already have an attitude.
Right.
And it's our ignorance, because the biggest problem with being gay, I'm telling you something about being black. I've been black all my life. Nobody ever thought black was contagious. Now, how many people do we know believe that being gay is contagious? They don't want you around gay people because they think it'll rub off on you. Nobody ever thought if I touch a black guy, I'm gonna end up black tomorrow, I'm gonna have bad credit. But people think, oh, if my son hang around gay kids, he's gonna be gay. And so it is a civil rights struggle, because they got so many more things that nobody ever said, if you touch that black guy, you're gonna end up black. Nobody ever said that. So Hispanic gays of another race don't even have the same issues we have, because they don't look at it the same way. And so when you're black, and this is a different struggle, but the gay thing is just my man here, like I said, he going through two struggles, and realistically, which one is the harder struggle? Being accepted as a black in corporate America, or being accepted as gay in black America? Because white America will accept you.
Yeah, white America has no problem.
White America will accept you
whatsoever.
The people who are from the struggle won't accept you, because black. That's why I said gay is the new black.
Yeah.
You get the most. You get the most problems from us, people who have already know what it's like to be discriminated against. It is the same struggle.
Yeah,
it's the same. And I can say that as a black man, because I'm in corporate America, and I see when you have something, when white people see gay people, they just keep talking. When when he tried to sit down at a corporate meeting next to the black guy, he gonna get up and get some water and change his seat, because and that's what they do. It's a whole different struggle. When she sit down and she don't say nothing, they gonna flirt with her, and if they catch her flirt with her, they're going to call her a name, and it's going to still be that same black guy who had to go through a struggle, but he's whatever he is now. But it's a different
struggle, DP. Is that what you're saying? Because
what
I keep hearing you say is it's a struggle, but it's the same struggle.
I'm saying it's the same struggle. The roles just changed. But being gay, especially black, is no different than being black anyway. I was discriminated against. I'm still discriminated against, more so by my own people than white people. He's discriminated against, and I guarantee you his discrimination. We ain't going to that counter right now. He could probably go anywhere and ain't nobody going to bother him. But let him go to the wrong side of Atlanta, he's not welcome. And it's going to still be a black side of town. He can go to Midtown, ain't nobody going to bother him. But if he go to MLK, well, depending on which end, they ain't going to accept him. Well, hey, I worked at the Marquise. So, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying the civil rights. So you're saying
the civil rights and the gay struggle is exactly the same, because it's a different breed of people that people don't know anything about. They don't know how to deal with them. They face up. It's contagious. They got control of it. A lot of gays don't have control of it, no more than Roy had control over being black. Roy, you don't get to say, when you're a little egg mama, can you date a white guy so I can have good hair? I can confuse the shit out of people. I'm sorry, confuse people to death.
Right.
It's there.
Right.
He can't choose who he love no more, and I can choose who I love.
What you look like, right? Well, it's 9:30, y'all. We're gonna have to have a part two.
Oh, it's past 9:30. Y'all on CP time.
Well, 9:36. But I mean, it's so much more to go into. See, that's what happens when you get the Kings involved. But I mean, this was awesome. I'm glad I had the Kings here tonight, and it's so much more to go into. And I don't even know if we really got that last part. We got that part two. This like we had the first relationship part. We had part one and part two.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to have part two, because you had some guests that you wanted to have on, and it's so much more to go into this. And Marsha, if I could be premature and ask you, I know your schedule is busy and you've got so much going on, and over the next, she's in New York. And she's in this Hugs movement, and we got to talk a little bit about Marsha. Maybe she'll be your friend on Facebook. She at 4,999. Maybe you could be 5,000.
Marsha is Ray Quinton, R-A-Y-Q. It's R-A-Y-Q-U-I-N-T is in Tom, E-N. Dodds, D is in David, O-D-D-S.
Okay. Yes, and he said that.
Right. But I mean, I really want to go further into this, because there's so much more, and I want to dispel those misnomers. I want to really ask everyone to really keep your heart and your minds open. If you listen to the show today and you came with one opinion, I ask that you pick up two, that you leave with two more opinions. That's something you heard from the panel today. You know, you might have felt one way, but I ask that you leave with something else, some more information that you may have picked up from Juan Carlos when he came in, from Angela, from Ray Quinton, and from Marcia. You know, and even the king that took the mic several times, from
Several
Roy.
times, Shay. Say it again.
You know, and DVP, our special
Who
guest,
has
you
his
know,
own show? Why you
right?
all
DVP, who comes on before us, you know, and even when with Charmaine for sharing her story, and I'd like her to come back and actually sit with us the next time to talk with us a little more, because there's so much more to talk about. And in closing comments, I want to go around the room and everybody kind of just say something before we close out. Dawn?
It's a passionate topic, so you know everybody was very passionate about it, and we all had a lot to say. So it was a lot to say in 2 hours, but we definitely need to have a part two. We agree on some things, we don't agree on some things, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't really know. There's a lot I could say a lot of time, but then it's going to be another whole hour that we don't have. Right. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who had passionate comments to make. And thank you to our guests. I mean, all of everybody who was here. I think it was a productive conversation. I just want to say that I think people need to make sure that they are more open-minded and try to, what is the saying about if you never know a man until you walked a mile in his shoes or something? So just be open-minded. Even if you don't agree, just be open-minded and try to see things from another viewpoint, even if you don't agree.
Heidi?
Wow. No, it's been great. I was just sitting here thinking, I really appreciate our panel, our guests, and everybody who came out, because you all made some really good points. My role always is on A Queen's Eye View is to challenge. I think that there are all types of opinions, and I think it's just great that everybody has one and can voice them. I think that's extremely important, and I think everybody's entitled to that. You know, so, but I definitely appreciate everybody, especially Marcia. I always get educated when she comes on. She makes me feel good. She motivates me. Just letting you know that, Marcia. So, no, it's all good. I just want everybody to always, like you say, be open-minded. And like you say, you know, take on some new views. You know, research stuff for yourself. Don't just take what people say. You know the real deal. Know the facts. Reading is fundamental. That's all I have to say.
Fundamental.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say love begets love and respect begets respect. And that's it. Period.
I just want to piggyback. Just respect. You know, it's all about respect and keep an open mind. Definitely keep an open mind, you know, because it's 2014 and anything gives and anything goes.
And I'll just say that, you know, stop with the labels, because fear breeds hate, and hate breeds violence, and violence breeds death. Be the change you want to see and be accountable for your actions. Marcia?
I'd really like to say, first of all, thank you for all the comments and all the opinions and all the thoughts that were shared, especially from my brother Roy over there. Your perspective has been quite enlightening for me, so I'm very much appreciative of it. I'd also like to state that civil rights of a black person for black people established a platform to address discriminatory practices in our country. So I'd like to thank all the black leaders that we have had through the ages, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and so many others. I'd like to thank all the LGBTQ freedom fighters from Stonewall here in New York who gave their lives to be who they were. I'd like to thank all the women, feminists, who stepped up their game and decided to talk about and break through the glass ceiling. I'd like to thank the disabled people in our country who are still fighting for their rights to remember they didn't even have ramps to get into certain buildings at certain times. And I'd also like to thank our seniors, our older people in our country and in our society who are still trying to get proper housing. All of these different categories of people now have the civil rights and the civil liberties that were established by African Americans in this country. Let us not forget what this issue is about. It's about diminishing and wiping out and eliminating one person at a time. Remember, you are the change that we seek in order to move forward in a country that needs to be educated around the fact that love, compassion, empathy is an answer. Not the only one, but is a good one to start with.
Wow, Marsha, that was great. I actually want to jump in and one of the things you said, of course, everybody in the building saw my face when you used the word feminist. That is actually a conversation that I really am interested in getting into, that I think we need to talk about, because no, I mean, not just with you guys. I mean, and because it actually with the gay and lesbian community, that's a very interesting dynamic from my perspective. It being because I'm one of the people who I really have the opinion that the feminist movement was not a movement that was inclusive of black women. And what the feminist movement did to me, but like I said, it's a whole, that's probably a whole show on its own. Heidi said the whole 2 shows. But you know, I do want to say this. I have always considered myself to be an open-minded person. Of course, I have my views, I have my opinions, I have my beliefs, just as everyone else does. But the Jericho Broadcast Network's, one of our mottos is that we are breaking down the walls of communication. You can't have any productive relationships until you communicate. Communication does not mean that we have to have agreements. We are not going to agree on everything. We are different people. But it is a transference of information and ideas from one person to another that ends with an understanding. And I may not agree with why you do certain things or why some people do certain things, but it's about having the conversation, because at the end of the day, we can still all have something to benefit in this world. So I'm going to let the ladies close out on that, but I wanted to say that part. So.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank again Salon Envy, ATL. Shar, thank you for having us. Woo! I'd like to thank you again for hosting us here at 865 Indian Trail Road. We're always talking to me when I'm trying to. But I'm just saying.
Producer and keep moving.
So anyway, chastise me. Anyway, we'd like to thank you all for listening. Again, we're broadcasting live from Salon Envy, ATL. Shar, thank you so much for having us. 865 Indian Trail Road, Lilburn, Georgia. Marsha, thank you so much.
Marsha,
again.
you are all that.
They're singing your praises over here. Right. And no, she don't need no more Facebook friends.
Marsha.
She don't need no more y'all for her Facebook friends. Don't accept them, Marsha.
Yes, I do. Marsha Barlow.
She's such a hater, Marsha. We love you, Marsha. Trust me, girl.
Look, watch that, Marsha. Look. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for stay tuned. We're gonna come back again not next week. Next week is Thanksgiving. Oh,
gobble gobble. We'll be out of town.
Gobble gobble turkeys. But anyway, we'll be back the week after. But stay tuned. We wish you and your families a safe, a happy, and a healthy Thanksgiving. And we'll be back the first week of December. God bless. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Marsha. Bye.